Thank you for joining today's Words of Wisdom. Today's is from April 9th, and I chose it from this Kyoten, the 10 Principles from Cantare Volume 2, Chapter 1, The Principles of Wisdom, page 29. And I quote, God gave us learning as a way to develop ourselves. God gave us learning as a way to develop ourselves. Thank you. So an academic pursuit is a gift given by God. That's the definition that Master is teaching us. And I'd like to read 2 pages of this section from this book from page 29. Why is it necessary to learn different things? Learning is closely related to the reason we have been given eternal life. We must first realize that learning is a path given to us by God. If learning were meaningless, then the fact that we repeatedly reincarnate over thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions of years would also be meaningless. The basic premise is that God values the act of learning. So what significance does God see in learning? We can find the answer in the discovery of our individual characters. A secret lies in the fact that each one of us is learning as unique individuals. Each individual is an artwork of God's light and is brilliant like a rainbow arching over in the sky. A supreme being exists who deems it wonderful to create this artistic diversity of light. It means each individual soul, with its own tendencies and personality, is expected to learn under the circumstances it is placed in. Why are we required to learn so much? Why is learning considered so good? We need to consider this issue in the context of everyday life. Now, I would like to ask yourself, why are you attending this lecture? Can you come up with a clear answer? This is indeed important. Everyone is given problems to solve in his or her own unique circumstances based on the premise that you solve these problems on your own. People may give you advice, but in the end, no one except you can solve your problems. I doubt there is anyone who has no worries or problems. I bet you are all trying to solve your problems in some way and use them as a springboard to further improve your life. Perhaps you expect to find some clues in my lectures on how to solve your problems. Here lies the starting point of learning. People are always looking for clues to better their life. We must solve our problems on our own, but the clues can be found all around us. Both people who are living now and writers who have lived in the past can give us these clues. Therefore, we are learning to find the clues to help us solve our problems in life. This means God has given us a method to follow. He expects us to complete our unique workbook on our own, but has also provided us with a reference book to consult. Moreover, we can meet our teachers of life or people who give us clues at the right time. This may happen at home or elsewhere. They are all our mentors or teachers at that given time. So finding clues to help solve our problems is the starting point of learning. Thank you very much. So, God gave us learning as a way to develop ourselves. Meaning, how do we develop ourselves? We can only develop ourselves when we overcome a suffering, when we overcome an ordeal, when we overcome an adversity, when we overcome a failure, when we overcome our own negative tendencies, when we overcome a negative relationship, a demotion at work, being fired at work, facing against COVID, how to solve this Ukrainian-Russian war situation. All of these, the problems that's given to us, is a love from God in disguise. Because without problems, without adversities, without pain, without sorrow, we don't grow. And He's teaching us here 2 important points. One is, we are the ones who will overcome these issues. Don't seek for sympathy from others. Okay? You are the one who can solve the problems. God only gives you problems that you can solve. It's given to you. Now's the moment to overcome it. You're already capable of overcoming it. That's the fact behind you being given this issue. So that's the first one. Independent. An independent spirit. An indomitable resolve to solve issues by yourself. If you think like that, you can solve the problem. And then the second one, though, is based on this mentality, you can learn lessons from other people. You can acquire wisdom from contemporaries and people who lived in the past. That's where learning kicks in. When you study more examples, when you study more refined wisdom, when you study, it's going to be about the next section of this book, a higher insight from other people, from greater characters, you can apply that knowledge into your own circumstances, and it's kind of like, it's a good way of cheating. You can find a better way to solve your issues. You don't have to grapple it. You don't have to come up with your own wisdom. You don't have to be mini philosophers thinking that, okay, I'm going to come up with the wisdom. No. A lot of times that's a waste of time. I'm sorry. A lot of times there's already good knowledge out there that you should use, and it will expedite yourself from getting yourself out of that situation. So God gave us learning as a form of love. One, to overcome our sufferings. And the purpose of this overcoming the suffering is the more important part of God's plan, which is to develop ourselves. So learning is so valued in Happy Science. That's why I'm sure you've seen Happy Science seminars where it's like, in a way, it's a school. Master even called Happy Science a graduate school for life. So people here are really in love with learning new thoughts and new teachings. And it's a great way to stay young. It's a great way to increase your happiness. It's a great way to, because learning something new is already happiness. It means that you've expanded your horizon. It means that you've expanded your understanding of the world and yourself and others. And that in itself is already joy. So wisdom, learning, knowledge is power. All of this is a great form of God's love. Let us continue to learn every day to develop ourselves. That will be it for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.